Okay, let's talk about this really strange feeling that a lot of successful founders have. I mean, you've built something real, you're bringing in actual revenue, but then you're lying awake at night and you're just wondering, why doesn't this feel like enough? Well, we're about to dig into a plan that's designed to find the profit that's already in your business, just waiting for you to find it.
Does that sound familiar? Yeah, I bet it does. It's that nagging feeling, right? That gap between the success everyone else sees on paper and what you're actually seeing in your bank account. You've already done the hard part. But if this quote hits home for you, it's not a sign you failed. It's a sign that you're ready to get to that next level of clarity.
There's a name for this. It's founder's frustration. It's this weird paradox where you're successful enough to have these really complex problems, but you don't yet have, a huge team or these giant complicated systems to solve them easily. It's actually a sign of growth, believe it or not, but man, it is an incredibly stressful place to be.
Now listen up, because this is probably the most important idea we're going to cover today. The solution to all that frustration, it isn't about desperately chasing brand new customers or trying to invent some miracle product. The real insight, the key, is that for most businesses in your position, the money you're looking for is already inside your company. Right. It's just buried. Let that sink in for a second. This completely changes the problem, doesn't it? It's not some wild goose chase anymore. It's more like an archaeological dig. You're not looking for a needle in a haystack. You're looking for a treasure chest that got buried somewhere along the way. All you need is a map and the right tools. So the real question becomes, where on earth do you start digging?
So, where is all this hidden profit? Well, if it wasn't some obvious spot, let's be honest, you would have found it by now. The thing is, it's usually scattered all over the place, hidden in the noise of just running the business day to day, and that makes it almost impossible to see when you're in the thick of it. It gets buried in a few classic spots. First up, the wrong priorities. Like spending a whole month redesigning your website's homepage when 90% of your customers only ever see the checkout page. Total classic. Second, you've got channels that look super busy but just aren't profitable. That social media account with 10,000 followers that brought in, 5 sales last quarter? That's what I'm talking about. And then there's the biggest one of all, data that just isn't connected. Your sales numbers are over here, your marketing stats are over there, and your costs are on some spreadsheets somewhere else. Nobody is connecting the dots to see what's actually going on. Okay, so if your profit is buried under all that mess, how do you actually dig it out? Simple. You need a map, a really clear, focused plan of attack. And that is exactly what the strategic plan is designed to be. It's not just about finding problems. It's about creating a clear path forward. So what is it really? It's a short, intense, incredibly focused engagement. And notice that timeline, 4 to 6 weeks. This is not some year-long consulting project that just drains your time and your bank account. It's a sprint, and it has 3 very specific goals. Find where your real profit is coming from, pinpoint exactly where the money is leaking out, and then build a step-by-step roadmap to fix it. The process itself is just powerful because it's so simple. It starts with a deep dive. We're talking a forensic look at everything, your numbers, your marketing channels, your team, your margins. But then comes the most important step, synthesis. This is where the magic happens. It's where all those disconnected data points we were just talking about get woven together into one single clear picture. And the result isn't a bunch of suggestions, it's the roadmap, actual actionable steps with deadlines and, this is crucial, dollar amounts attached, so you can see the real financial impact of every single move you make. And this really gets to the core of what makes this so different. I mean, we've all seen it, right? The giant 40-page consulting report that makes a satisfying thud when it hits your desk, and then just sits on a shelf collecting dust. The strategic plan is the complete opposite. It's designed to be a living document, a practical roadmap you and your team can actually start using, like on Monday. It's all about creating action, not just more analysis. All right, that all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? A plan is only as good as the results it gets. So let's talk numbers, because that's where this story gets really, really interesting. Just look at this number. For one client, this exact process uncovered $777,000 in potential profit improvements. And this wasn't some pie-in-the-sky dream. This was money the business was already making, but was just leaving on the table because of little leaks and missed opportunities. It was already there, just waiting to be found. And here's another one, a full $1 million revenue opportunity. You want to know the crazy part? It wasn't in some flashy new market or some risky new product launch. It was hiding in plain sight, right inside their own existing customer database. It was all about using the assets they already had, but just couldn't see clearly. And this quote right here is so important. Listen, the key point is that this isn't about founders doing things wrong. It's about perspective. When you are deep in the weeds of your own business, day in and day out, it is almost impossible to get that 30,000-foot view. You're just too close. The real value is having that outside, expert perspective that can see how all the pieces fit together in a way that you just can't. So all of this kind of leads to the big question, right? Who is this for? I mean, who is this super focused approach really built for? Because it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's designed for a very specific kind of business and a very specific kind of founder. So let's see if this sounds like you. It's for founder-led businesses because you're still nimble enough to actually make changes happen quickly. That revenue range, somewhere between $500,000 and $5 million, that's the sweet spot. That's usually where things start getting way more complex than your internal systems can handle. And that last point, that's the most important one. This is for the founder who is successful by every outside metric, but you've got that gut feeling, that founder's frustration telling you that your business could be and should be way more profitable. And we have to give full credit where it is absolutely due. This incredibly powerful framework we've been talking about is the strategic plan, and it was developed by the brilliant Sally Ogden at Brim Capital. And that brings us right back to where we started. We talked about that frustrating feeling, we've seen where all the profit gets buried, and we've walked through a clear, actionable plan to dig it all up. So really, the only question left is the one you see right there. It's simple, it's direct, and it gets right to the heart of it. Are you ready to find what's already yours?